What's the first word revealed? Iqra. Your oral tradition is right there. This is all about the oral tradition. This is an ummi nation. We don't read or write. The nations of the past were the Ahlul Kitab. They used to read and write. They were the written nation. We are an oral nation. We don't read or write. We are an unlettered nation. And yet, we do use writing for our text, but only to preserve it, not as the actual source. So for those young men and women who love sitting behind their computers and sit on their keyboards and they're, mashallah, the mujtahideen of Google and mujtahideen of YouTube who are doing a lot of ijtihad and a lot of iftah, online and going on and bashing everyone. What do they call them? The web crusaders, right? The web crusaders, right? Out there and battling with everyone. We want to tell you something. That this deen is not something that's learned only through books. This deen is learned through being in the company of a teacher. Had it been learned through books, then wallahi al-azim, our messenger was smart to read a book. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even sent him a teacher, Jibreel alayhi salam. And not only did he learn from Jibreel alayhi salam, but Jibreel alayhi salam squeezed him 3 times very, very carefully. And each time, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam felt that he was going to die, transferring that knowledge from heart to heart, heart to heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't prevent us from reading. He gave us the option to read. But the primary source of learning the deen is through observation. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullah wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. Right? All those who believe, be God conscious and be with the righteous and the pious people. Because this deen is gained through suhbah. The companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they didn't just read books. They are called companions. We don't call them the scholars, we don't call them the students, we don't call them the muftis, we don't call them the mujtahideen, the mufassirin, muhaddithin, fuqaha. When we call the people who lived during the life of the Prophet ﷺ, what do we refer to them as? Sahaba. What's the definition of a sahabi? Someone who has companionship. Today in America, the biggest tragedy that we have is that everyone wants to be a scholar without companionship. That's the big problem. The problem is everyone wants to be a scholar. They're saying, where can I go and get a 1-year crash course and become a scholar? Where can I go and do a 2-year crash course and become big time real quick? Where can I do an online course and really hit it quick? I want to become the next khatib. I want to give the next tafsir class. I want that sheikh to be out of there because I'm going to oust him. Everyone's planning to become big scholars, but no one knows the pathway of gaining that knowledge. That knowledge is gained through suhbah. It's gained through being with your teacher. Because you don't only learn the deen through its written tradition. The written tradition is only a part of our deen strictly for the sake of preservation. Strictly for preservation. During the life of the Prophet ﷺ, none of the sciences were written down. Nothing. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh, he initiated the formal copy to be written down during his khilafah. And then later on, Umar bin Abdul Aziz ordered that the hadith should be written down. And later on, Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi's student, Imam Muhammad rahmatullahi alayhi, he wrote fiqh down. And then the scholars of Kufa wrote qira'at down. They began to write it down only as a fear of preservation.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, Muhammadun Rasulullah. أرجو رضاك يا الله أنت الرحيم يا الله